the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Morris in at the 3 spot.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
The Thunder shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
And, guys, that's really an upgrade over how they shot last season. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless. And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
We play just over a minute here in the first. And Durant with the block.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start.
And stolen by Ilyasova. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Missed inside.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 fall. And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
Detroit with the ball, following the score by Oklahoma City. Wide open shot is on the money. Jackson's got his 2nd bucket of the night. Thunder have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And here's Westbrook from the arc, and that one's good.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the 1 miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Outside Jackson. Now the feed to Morris. 5 to shoot. They get it again. Drummond, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Dion Waiters checked in for Durant, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Russell Westbrook.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there. Beautiful.
Pistons trail by 4. It's Jackson with the drive. Here's Drummond. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him. You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit, and he'll play better.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Morrow's checked in. Then for the Pistons, Tolliver comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Johnson in for Morris.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Pushing it up. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Johnson. And that's now 8 points for Reggie Jackson.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities. And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
Adams, he's checked in for the Thunder. Then for the Pistons, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. And Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for Jackson.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a two-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
And Caldwell-Pope drops them both. On the topic of Caldwell-Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Dinwiddie passes to Johnson. There's the dish to Baines. And it comes off the front of the rim.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on it, they expect him to make it.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
The Pistons trailing. Out to the wing. Caldwell-Pope kicks to Baines. That's good.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Here's Morrow following the bucket by the Pistons. And Kanter throws it down.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
Lets a floater go. And Caldwell-Pope gets the basket. Caldwell-Pope's got 6 points. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth. And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
And here is Waiters. The tray. And at the end of one. And Kevin Durant, former MVP, still feels like he has room to grow, and he did. Well, the will seems to be there, Greg, but Kevin Durant seems surrounded by uncertainty. Can he get that and stay healthy for the entire season? How does he work with his new coach? Where does he really want to be?
You know, the truth is, no one but Kevin knows the answers to those questions. And quite frankly, he may not know right now what those answers are. He's a very unique and introspective kind of guy, as we all saw when he accepted that MVP award a couple of years ago. So let's just stay tuned on this one.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves. They've had firepower and then some so far.
Ibaka and Collison, the duo inside. Durant is out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Roberson in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Oklahoma City getting going here in the second. Here's Morris. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Morris has got his first points of the game.
Yeah, sloppy D there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Extremely untidy on the defensive end. I mean, when he gets it in that close, that's an easy bucket.
And watching Nick Collison, he makes all the hustle plays, all the little plays, the things that really will not show up in a score sheet, stat sheet. For over a decade, he's had that role and embraced it.
And Kevin, the other thing he does as a veteran is a coach knows what he's going to get. He doesn't make the mistakes that some players make. And while he's not going to be a great scorer in the post or a high-flying rim protector, his game really is built on intelligence and toughness. And so positioning for charges, making open mid-range jump shots, all the unsung things that help a team win games.
Pistons have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. And the call will be against Nick Collison. That is his first foul of the game. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know, on the topic of Nick Collison shooting, last season was his only real setback. Only shot 42% after having a career 54% shooting percentage. But he's up slightly in most other categories, especially the ones based on hustle and effort. Good defensive instincts on display.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Anthony Morrow's checked in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Morris. A 14-point game for him in the win against Miami. Here's Durant. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Now it's a 6-point Thunder lead.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Here's Ibaka, and he makes good on the layup. Ibaka's got the lead up to 6 now for the Thunder.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Here's Ilyasova. Can't get it to go. So the Thunder will take it the other way. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way. And that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.